It appears you won the open week last week between you and your combatants. We're not going to talk about them, but when you think about your work last week, where do you feel like you guys maybe gained some things, and how do you feel about your team heading into game week?
We got on the field like we had talked about on Wednesday. We had a great no sweat Thursday on Thursday with being able to get a ton of our game plan in, I think, which is huge. That way, when our guys were able to get away, man, they still had the install and could circle back to it as they were away for a day and a half. And then as we got in the building this morning, man, just great urgency and great awareness of what's in front of us, and excited as heck about Friday morning at 11.
In terms of the guys kind of understanding the rivalry and the climate that they're walking into, have you seen guys like Kelly or Isaac, guys who know the territory of this game? Have you seen them kind of take a lead with the other guys in terms of stepping up?
Yeah, and again, we've got a bunch of staff members that played here and that played inside this game and understand what it's about. So I think the more you can talk about that part of it, and guys that have come before and have played in between the white lines in this game, and as they have the ability to communicate to our guys that maybe haven't been here long and don't know the history as much as some of the others, I think it's great for our entire football team to, again, understand the urgency, what's at stake, and you see the guys that are from our state that have played in this game. Man, there's great pride in how we go do what we do on Friday morning.
Yeah, you guys have bowl eligibility to play for. Ole Miss has the college football playoff to, their hopes to play for. Just how does it feel to have, just something to play for this year, and how much more intense is this year going to be then?
Yeah, I think our guys understand we've got a ton to play for. We've got a ton out in front of us. We have the opportunity to hit two huge goals for us as a program in year two. Again, is exciting for us, and our guys understand, man, what's at stake, and it's about us. It's about us maximizing every day from a preparation standpoint to give ourselves a chance to be able to go 1-0 on Friday morning in a huge game with a great atmosphere and a lot at stake.
Coach, when you look at Ole Miss's defense, obviously they lost some big pieces off of last year, but have seemed to have gotten better as the season went along. With your offensive strategy, and what do you think the biggest key is for them against your offense as far as trying to think they'll key on the running game like we've seen other teams do?
Yeah, they have definitely gotten better as the year has gone on. It's a group that, again, has been really good situationally. They've been great on third downs and getting off the field. Us finding ways to run the football enough and be effective in the run game to give us some good situations, I think, will be key. Us taking great care of the football will be key. But I would think as they sit there, man, they're probably going to try like heck to limit the explosives in the throw game and the run game.
Coach, what does this rivalry just mean for you personally?
Yeah, for me, it's about, again, this year there's a ton to play for, getting bowl eligible, but the rivalry part of it is, again, our fan base, our community, our university, our program, understanding that there's a lot that goes into this, and for a calendar year, understanding the momentum it gives us the ability to create from a recruiting standpoint, I think is a huge thing. And those are the things that we're constantly looking at, talking about, and understanding. Man, find a way to be 1-0 this Friday, and it's going to mean a lot to our program, our university, and community.
Coach, piggybacking off that a little bit, going into last year's game, right? As you played, was able to lead the team into last year's game, was there something about it that you didn't realize and realized after the game, and also what's the rest of the schedule look like?
Yeah, no, I think as I went into it, had a pretty good understanding and idea of what it was going to be. Again, being on the other side of it, have lived the game before, and so there was some awareness of what we were getting into. And for us now, today was obviously a Monday for us. Tomorrow turns into a Tuesday, and so on and so forth as we get ready for Friday morning.
What just impresses you about their quarterback, Trinidad, especially just being a guy who wasn't the starter to begin the season?
Man, the guy just makes a ton of timely plays. and he can extend, he can create, he does things in the run game that really make it hard for you. And then the way he's been able to throw the football around and make the plays when he's needed to is impressive. For a guy that got there so late, has never played inside this league, he belongs, has been a big-time player, and has given them the ability to have the season that they're having.
Kind of adding to that is a quarterback that makes you respect the run as well. And then Kewan Lacey has had a breakout year, had a historic game for career best game against Florida. How have you approached, trying to stop that part of their offense after the last couple of performances where the run has hurt you?
Yeah, I have. I talked about it a little bit last week. They've played with really good balance. Their run game right now is as good as it's been all year long. The back is a guy that can create a ton of explosives, great top end speed, and then the QB being involved in the run game, it makes it tougher. So for us, I talked about this a little bit last week. We got to tackle really well. When we get into one-on-one situations, we've got to find ways to get guys on the ground. We got to get 11 hats to the football, and that for us is going to be where it starts. Is from a tackling standpoint, is going to be a huge piece of it Friday morning.
Coach, I know you pride yourself on being the same guy every day you step in the building, but you've never stepped into this building where the Golden Egg Trophy is sitting in your lobby.
No.
We play a football game one day a year, but it's something you live with for a full year. How much beneficial would that be to you with recruits and just team morale to be able to walk into this building for 365 days a year and have that trophy sitting there for your recruits and your team to enjoy?
Yeah, I don't think you can measure it. I really don't. It is. It's a huge deal for us. Again, as we're continuing to build this thing the way I want and we want to give us the ability to sustain, man, it's a huge deal to find a way to go 1-0. And talked a little bit about it earlier, but there's this great amount of momentum that will come with that. And I want our fans to be incredibly proud about having the ability to be 1-0 on Friday.
Do you have any updates just on Brennan Thompson and Isaac Smith for this game?
I do not. We'll let the injury report speak to it.
And then second, Fluff's been back now for a few games. How do you just feel like he's been performing since that injury?
Yeah, again, for him, I think like today he feels the best he's felt in a long time. I think last week was huge for him, again, to be able to take just a few days off after he was banged up again coming out of the game against Missouri. So he does. He feels good, had a really good day today. He'll be a huge part of it for us on Friday.
Coach, I realize a lot can happen between now and January when the transfer portal opens up, but just looking on paper right now with the guys are graduating, and looking at all those positions, just on paper, where do you think this team going into next year has got to hit the portal hard at it as far as a few position goes?
Yeah, when you look at us defensively, obviously the safety position with those three guys being seniors and not being back with J-Man and Bralo and Hunt, guys that played, almost every snap for us this year. So that'll be a big piece of it. The D-line, without a doubt, having the ability to go add some great pieces on our edges, I think will be really, really important, losing both Jackson, Leak, and B-Gen, and then a couple of guys inside. So that's where it's at defensively. I think offensively, when you look at it, man, it is. It's going to be about the offensive line. It's going to be about finding starters that can come in here and have this great impact, and guys that have played inside this league and have had real success. I think that's where the stress is for us offensively. I think we got some really good young players, but that's where we've got to be able to go attack and get what we need.
In addition to being Battle for the Golden Egg Day, it's Senior Day. How do you kind of manage that aspect of it? You got to go win a football game, but I know a lot of coaches want to get at least an appearance for a lot of those guys. What's kind of your philosophy about that?
Saturday or Friday morning is going to be about being 1-0. We're going to go through Senior Day in pregame. I never ever want to minimize what our group of seniors has meant to us and to this football team and this program. Again, as we're building this thing, there's a bunch of guys that have been here, and there's plenty of guys that hadn't been here, very long. So for those guys, man, being able to finish the right way is critical. Give those guys an opportunity to have a happy locker room, to get that golden egg, back in Stark Vegas and being able to keep it here would be really, really special for a lot of reasons, but those seniors being one of them.
This was a game last year that Blake didn't get to play in. How have you seen him prepare for it this time around, knowing that he gets this shot to play in this historic rivalry?
Yeah, again, for all of our guys, just the excitement of having the opportunity to, check a bunch of boxes. And I think that's our entire football team. Really excited about a great opportunity Friday morning. All eyes on this football game, and Blake, along with everybody else, ready to take advantage of that.
And it's kind of just the reality of college football now that you have players who come in for 1 or 2 years, transferring in, but they still play such a huge part of the identity of a program.
Right.
How do those guys prepare for a game like this, and how have you gone about kind of educating them on, the pride that you need to wear going into a game like this?
Yeah, I think you mentioned it earlier, but guys that are inside our locker room that understand what this game means, that have played in it, and then again, staffing for us, guys that have played in this game that now work here and can share stories about what their experience was. I think educating those guys as much as we can so that we understand exactly what's going to be like when we go kick it off.
Anything else for Coach? All right, thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.